Hello guys, this is Jack again, and I'm a math in electrical engineering tutor from the Chegg. Today's lesson is focusing on the vortex. The vortex is a really famous term that we hear almost every single time we talk about the electronics and electrical engineering. So when beginning to explore the world of electronic and electricity, it's really important to learn about the basics of the vortex, current, and resistance, which is V, I, or R, vortex, current, and resistance. These are the three basic building blocks required to manipulate and utilize electricity. At first, the concept can be very difficult to understand because we cannot see them. One cannot see the electricity by the naked eye, or the energy flowing through the wire, or the battery of the AAA. So now we have to understand the electrical charge. First, electricity is the movement of electron. So you know that the electron has the negative charge, so it can flow inside a wire. So imagine you have a long wire like this, right? So electron is sitting inside a wire, so it can flow either left to right or right to left. Electrons create the charge which we can harness to do the work. So your light bulb, your stereo, your phone, your TV, your iPhone, your iPad are all harnessing the movement of the electrons in order to do the work. They all operate using the same basic power source, the movement of the electrons. The three basic principles for it building blocks using the electrons are the voltage, the current, and resistance. And we define the voltage as the difference in the charge between the 2 points. So this is the difference in charge. The electron is the one that creating the charge, and the vortex is the difference in the charge between the 2 points. So when we talk about this value, we are really describing the movement of the charge and thus the behavior of the electrons. A circuit is a closed loop that allows the charge to move from one place to another. So we can have some current source here and some resistor or capacitor or resistor. But basically, the general idea is that the circuit is a closed loop in which the electron can move from one point to another point, and the difference in the charge between the 2 points is representing the voltage. So now we define the voltage as the amount of the potential energy between the 2 points on a circuit. One point has more charge than the other, and this difference in charge between the 2 points is called the voltage, as I mentioned before. And the unit that we use to measure the voltage is in volt. You can write as in volt, or we can represent it at V, the symbol V. It's measured in volt, and the potential difference between the 2 points that will impart 1 joule of energy per coulomb of charge that passes through it. The unit volt is named after the Italian physicist Alessandro Volta. So we named the volt after the Italian physicist named Alessandro Volta. This physicist is the one who invented what is considered the first chemical battery, and the vortex is represented in the equation of the chemical battery by the letter V. So that's why we have the letter V for the vortex. Okay, so usually the reason that we study the vortex and their behavior, because we want to use the vortex to calculate the current of the resistor or the resistance of a circuit by using the Ohm law, the famous Ohm law V equal IR. So for example, we have the difference between 2 points A and B, and the difference in the charge between A and B is a vortex, so we have V. And then we want to calculate the current is running through the elements resistor here, and if we have the value or the potential difference, the charge difference between A and B, we can always find the current by V over R. And if we are given the resistor value, just plug in the potential difference between A and B, divide by the resistor R, and we can obtain the current I. So the vortex has many applications. It can be used to calculate the quantities in the Ohm laws. It can be also used to express the conservation of energy around a circuit in the vortex law. And it can be also used to calculate the potential form of a distribution of the charges. So many things that we can learn about the vortex, but the basic idea is that the vortex is the difference between the potential energy or the potential charge of the 2 points A and B inside of a circuit. Okay, so that is the basic definition of the vortex. And if you have any question, you can always comment on the video, and then I'll try to respond to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.